What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to take another look at Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. Now, we still don't have the full information about these packs, I apologise. What we do have is a good look at the character cards, their alter egos, and a couple of other cards, and we have some information so we can start to get a bit of a flavour as to how these actually work. We did look at Ant-Man and Wasp in a previous video, I will link it in the description, but it was going to be getting into like a 25-minute video to try and do them all at once, and generally speaking, people don't want that, at least according to the years of data I've got. Now, we know the release date at this stage. We've got Ant-Man in November, Wasp in December, Quicksilver in January, Scarlet Witch in February, and I wasn't particularly shy about saying that I'm not a huge fan of the character Quicksilver, and I didn't really look forward to playing him in the game, which is weird because I'm a huge fan of The Flash. He's my favourite DC superhero. Maybe there's a connection. Now, Pietro Maximoff here is the alter ego, and I tell you what, I wasn't excited about playing him until I saw some cards. Now, recovery of 3 is on the lower end, hand size of 6 is standard, and hit points of 9 are on the lower end. Frankly, when we start off here, there's nothing that makes me particularly excited. However, it's got the action superpowered siblings. Lets you discard 2 cards from your hand and draw 2 cards. Now, this doesn't give you a card advantage per se. It doesn't leave you with any more cards in your hand than you had before, but it allows you to cycle your hand, discard 2 cards you weren't going to be playing, and draw 2 cards, hoping for something better. The nature of this game is that a lot of the time, cards you don't want to play, you end up using as resources anyway, but there's still going to be times you're digging for that double resource card or digging for a particular event or whatever, and this will help you do so. Oh yeah, but if Wanda Maximoff is in play, you draw 3 cards instead. So what we've got here is a real incentive to actually play either two-handed with both Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, or if you're playing a true multiplayer game, to actually have one player as each. And I play a lot of solo Marvel champions. I am going to be two-handing Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, although it is interesting and funny to me that Quicksilver comes out a month before Scarlet Witch, so there is a month where this skill is not going to be to its effectiveness. But when you draw 3, you do get a card advantage. Moving over to Quicksilver, we've got 1 thwart bad, 1 attack bad, 1 defense bad, 9 hit points bad, hand size of 5, standard for a hero. Oh yeah, after you use one of Quicksilver's basic powers, ready him, limit once per phase. Now I'm good. You see, I don't like the thwart, I don't like the attack, I don't like the defense, but I do like that I get to do it twice. Now, to be fair, a thwart of 2 and attack of 2 still aren't particularly great, but they're alright, and to be fair, thwart of 2 is quite good. We've seen attack of 3 on a few characters. But what is interesting here is that you can thwart 1, attack 1. Or you can attack 1 and then leave yourself ready to defend, or whatever. You can mix and match. You can get a defense and an attack, or a thwart and an attack, etc, etc. That's what really, really interests me about Quicksilver, though I do adore the artwork on the hero here. It's great artwork. But this is what makes me really excited about Quicksilver. None of the stats are particularly good, but you've got a really nice drawing ability in alter ego mode, and then you can make yourself active in hero mode. Although it is worth pointing out, you make yourself active when you use the skill. That is very, very important. I.e., you cannot recover and then use one of these basic skills, because if you recover, you don't ready yourself. Very, very important. Now, we have seen an event here, a 1-cost event always be running, a hero action, ready Quicksilver. How nuts is this? I have said many, many times that one of the best things you can do in Marvel Champions, one of the best skills we've got, is to make yourself active. We have seen that one of the reasons that Captain America is so gosh darn good is because it's got the skill that lets you discard a card from your hand and ready him. it is a phenomenal skill. We've seen that one of the reasons Doctor Strange is so gosh darn good is because you've got Cloak of Levitation, which has got a hero action to exhaust the cloak and ready Doctor Strange. And they are, for my money, two of the best heroes we've seen so far. Skills that ready your heroes are very, very good. Quicksilver can ready itself with its hero action, and it's got a 1-cost event that readies him as well. This is cool. The other card we've seen is Warlock. Now, honestly, one of the coolest things about Warlock is it's got the X Factor trait. No, X-Men are not coming into the Marvel Champions card game yet, although to be clear, in the live stream they openly talked about the fact that they would be bringing X-Men in when they could, but don't expect them too early. But the fact that we got an X-Factor trait here does mean that they are dipping their toes. Now, what we've got is Thwart of 1, but you take a consequential damage. Attack of 1, but you take a consequential damage. Health of 3. Now, I don't love Thwart of 1, Attack of 1 with 1 consequential damage. They are very generic and standard, and there's nothing great about them. But you do get to spend a mental resource and heal up to 2 damage from Warlock, and that is very, very different. Remember, when you run out of health, your ally goes away. So essentially, you thwart or attack twice, then you basically, for 1 resource, get Warlock back. Warlock is a free cost ally, but every 3rd turn, you can spend 1 resource to essentially play him standard. Cannot be the only one that thinks this seems really quite good. Moving over to Scarlet Witch. Oh, I should actually mention, shouldn't I? Quicksilver, and you can tell this by Warlock, but Quicksilver does play protection. Now, Scarlet Witch, we start off with Wanda Maximoff here, and what we've got is recovery of 3, not particularly good, hand size of 6 standard, hit points of 10, higher than Quicksilver, still not particularly good. But the same alter ego skill as Pietro here. Discard 2 cards from your hand, draw 2 cards, but if Pietro Maximoff is in play, you draw 3 cards instead. Nice. Really nice. Limited to once per round if you can make yourself active and all of that. So, now the good thing about Wanda, of course, is that she's coming out a month after Pietro, so you will actually have both of the heroes available to use. But now, and I can't say much more about this, right? I gave a decent, I like to think at least, analysis of this first time round. It is a very nice skill that is going to help you get what you need. Having it on 2 characters is awesome. Moving into Scarlet Witch, Thwart of 2 is quite nice, Attack of 1 isn't, Defense of 2 is fine, hit points of 10 is meh, hand size of 5 is standard. But we've got a skill, Chaos Control, an interrupt. When boost icons on an encounter card would be counted, discard the top card of the encounter deck and count the number of boost icons on that card instead, limited to once per phase. So if your opponent flips over the dreaded free boost icon card, you can cancel it and try again. Now, quite simply, if your opponent flips 1 boost icon, there are a bunch of cards that have 0, so you're only going to reflip the 1 boost icon if you're desperate. 3 boost icons, you're just going to use it because why not? But what about the 2 boost icons? This is the one that's really interesting for me, because a card with 2 boost icons could be limited down to 1 or even 0, but it could also be increased up to 3. That's kind of interesting to me. Of course, one of the things this is going to mean is that the encounter deck runs out a little bit more quickly. And remember that when the encounter deck runs out, you put an acceleration token on the main scheme. An acceleration token which does not get taken away. Running through the encounter deck too often can be pretty bad. This might be a good time to mention another card that we've seen. Hex Bolt. A 2-cost event, discard the top 3 cards of the encounter deck, and for each card discarded this way that has boost icons equal to, so every 0 boost icon card, you deal 2 damage to an enemy. Every 1 boost icon card, you remove 2 threat from a scheme. Every 2 boost icon card, you draw a card. And every card with 3 or more boost icons, you place a status card on a character. So you could stun the villain or give yourself a tough counter, for instance. This is a phenomenal card. You are going to get 3 of those. And they're all good. You either deal 2 damage, remove 2 threat, draw a card, or place a status card. For 2 costs, this is a phenomenal card. And I don't think there's any argument here that this is a phenomenal card. However, you're discarding 3 cards on the top of the encounter deck. And we've just said that if you get rid of all the cards in the encounter deck, it reshuffles and you put an acceleration token on it. So you need to be really... And apparently there are more cards in the Scarlet Witch deck that will do this. I mean, we've literally looked at 2 and they both do. You need to be really careful playing Scarlet Witch, because it seems like she is extremely powerful with some very good cards, but you do risk running through the encounter deck, and if you end up with 2 or 3 acceleration tokens, that's basically it. Now, we have been shown one other card, and it is a team-up card for Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. Now, it is a 1-cost event, but it's also limited to once per deck. And essentially, it's got a hero interrupt. When a treachery card is revealed from the encounter deck, cancel its when revealed effects, and deal 2 damage to the villain. Yeah, if you're playing Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, this seems like a very, very good card. But then again, we expect the team-up cards to be really good, because of the whole, you've got to be playing the 2 different characters to actually make use of them. Seems pretty good to me, ladies and gentlemen. Seems pretty good to me. I was excited about Scarlet Witch, and this has done nothing to quell that. Essentially, you've got a powerful, unpredictable, random, going through the encounter deck character, which seems very much in keeping with her character. And Quicksilver I wasn't excited about, but then we got all of this information, and now I'm actually kind of excited about it, and it seems really good, and he constantly makes himself active. Go team! But I want to know what you think about these, so let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts, be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wossy, where we talk Marvel Champions and a bunch of other card games, and please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, and all kinds of fun stuff. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.